In this clip, Curtis talks about why he left finance to become a corporate pilot.
I decided, you know what? I don't want to do a commission sales job. So I went to flight school. And like you, I started when we met. I was flying a G3 in corporate aviation. It started out as a great job.
Yeah.
Then the schedule changed to like 28 days a month. And I was engaged at the time. And I couldn't surf and I was like, wow, this isn't the job I want.
Yeah,
so,
living out of a suitcase, going from one hotel room to the next can get tiring.
Yeah. And as a lower time or newer pilot, it was hard to find the job you really wanted. Like my friends had those jobs. They're like, oh no, I work like 8 days a month and I'm in Cabo and I'm in the Bahamas. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not my gig, you know? And when you're trying to find a new gig, they really go off experience. And I was low experience.
Yeah.
Because of insurance reasons and things like that.
You start low man on the totem pole and you got to find someone who actually trusts you to throw you in the right seat so you can build that time so you can get hired by other people, right?
Yeah, it was a great first gig that I had, and it helped me throughout my career. I learned a lot because you're flying a fast jet.
Yeah.
And then I just decided like I wanted control over my life, and I called all my friends that flew corporate and airlines, and I decided I should go to the airlines, took a massive pay cut, went to a regional airline, and I learned a lot there, but I had control over my schedule for the most part. I knew going in to being a pilot, I want to fly airplanes, make $300,000 or $400,000 a year as a captain at an airline, and invest all my money in real estate and get some financial freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's literally what I do almost today. Although I'm not a captain at the airline, I chose to go the private route. But
well, and so you built all that time, you had all the experience. When you're flying for private owners, you're flying their private jets, they want to see that experience. I think that's something that really gets people excited, especially when you're the captain of the airplane, not, maybe not SIC, second in command, sitting in the right seat. So at what point, I know you were flying while you were doing the airlines, you were picking up trips on the corporate side or private side, but at what point did that transition start to be focused more on the corporate side as opposed to the airlines?
Yeah, really, it was COVID. 2020 March, everybody knows about COVID and when it hit. And what happened was the airlines, we weren't flying. They canceled all the flights. Pilots were getting paid to sit at home. And that's what I did. Some pilots, like I had friends move to Cabo and the airline was offering, hey, you don't have to work, but we're just going to pay you 60% of your salary and we won't call you for like a year. Well, at the time, my girlfriend was pregnant when that offer came out. And I said, I was living on the beach, had a couple rental houses. And I went, if I'm going to have a baby, I want a nice family house. So I said, I need the income to show and buy a house. I'm glad I did that because I was able to buy a house about 12 months later. That was, over my budget and whatever, but I qualified because I kept my job. But really a mutual friend of ours said, hey, we're getting really busy on the private side. Do you want to come fly some private? I go, my schedule's wide open.
Yeah.
And I got, I had to submit for a letter that you can fly on the side and they approved it.
Really?
That's what it was. So
I didn't know how that worked. Okay.
Yeah. So you just submit, you say, hey, can I, and then what they do is they say, you can't do any charter flights because it's similar to airline for legalities, but you can fly for private owners.
Part 91.
Part 91. Yep. So that's where it started. So, and then as flying started coming back to the airlines, the minimum there was 6 days a month. So I said, okay, well, I'll just work 6 days a month here.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing I really like the private side because I had a lot more business experience.
Yeah.
And that's what it took.
And also the type of people that you're flying on the private side, business owners, entrepreneurs, a lot of real estate investors, and it's a great opportunity to make great connections.